So this Shabbat, as I said earlier, has a special name. The name is Shabbat Shuvah. Literally, it means Shabbat of return. And of course, traditionally, it refers to the concept of teshuvah, repentance. So important for this for this season of high holidays. But today, in a spirit of playful research, I decided to twist this idea of return and explore the concept of return, but not inner return, but return in time. I would like to talk about time travel. If you had a chance to travel in time and then return back, would you do it? I would like to. I will discuss it now. I will try to explore what I found. But this is the question I would like us to discuss, perhaps at the Kiddush afterwards. And for those of you who are able to stay for dinner, that might be a conversation starter for you later. Would you? And if you would travel in time, where would you like to go if you only had a one shot or one chance? Would you go to the past or to the future? That's not an obvious answer. There is no obvious answer to this question. If you travel in the past, you perhaps want to change something or talk to a famous person, your hero, your somebody you really wanted to ask questions, perhaps your relative or a major figure in history. Or if you travel in the future, maybe it's just a pure interest, how life will be. Will there be self-driving cars in 10 years or not? Will there be flying people? Or will they implant AI chips in people's brains or not? That's a question that we don't know the answer to. On some level, the idea of repentance had a hidden wish that many people that many people have to travel in time and fix the past. This idea of, it's even in our language that we use, that we as if there is a road, you took the wrong turn, and you wish you didn't. You wish you turned back, return, and then chose the right path. So many people have regrets, and they wish they could do things differently today. And let us, for a moment, imagine a world where time travel to the past is possible. Then the question is, would it be a good idea to change it? Or maybe the version of yourself today, with your regrets, is the best possible version. Do you know that? How do we know that? So time travel time travel raises many questions, and there are different approaches to it throughout mostly science fiction, literature, and films. Today, I'm going to start by taking 3 examples from more or less modern films. Harry Potter, the Butterfly Effect, and the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In Harry Potter, time travel isn't about rewriting history. It's about discovering what history already had. So, Harry believed that his father saved him at some point. So he travels to that moment in time. He then came to that very place where his father was supposed to appear, only to realize that it was Harry himself who had used the protective spell all along. So philosophers refer to this as a closed loop, closed causal loop. This is the idea that events are ordered in a perfect circle, eliminating the possibility of a time travel paradox. So it's strangely comforting. The universe is stable, and your actions during the time travel were never a disruption, but always a part of the plan. Whatever you have now already includes the time travel. So it's always meant to be. The second film is the butterfly effect. It's a very different idea of time travel and much less optimistic, I'm afraid. According to this approach, time is chaotic and extremely sensitive to even the most minor changes. The film uses the butterfly metaphor. Everything is interconnected, and the tiniest flap of a butterfly's wing can cause a storm or hurricane on the other side of the globe. Here, nothing is fixed, and this film is a warning. Every attempt to improve the past risks causing a catastrophe instead. Do you recognize this image? So the final example, not everybody will recognize, I understand that, but the final example comes from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I should probably say multiverse, but that's too niche. In it, time travel doesn't change a single storyline, but creates a new branch. So change the past, and you don't override the reality. You just generate a new timeline. This echoes the idea of many worlds interpretation of what is now popular quantum mechanics, where every possible outcome of every event exists in its own parallel branch. And it's a vision of a radical freedom. Every choice creates a new reality. But it also raises questions about meaning. If there are infinite versions of you, or the universe, in infinite timelines, does any single choice matter then? Marvel's answer is yes, because the branch you live on is your branch, your world, and your world matters. And only you can take responsibility for your branch, for your choices. Interestingly, rabbinic literature does not have any story about traveling to the past. But it does, however, have stories of rabbis traveling to the future. And I will give you two of them. I will present two. There are more, but two of them are absolutely fascinating. One is about Honi HaMa'agel. Literally, Honi is the name, and Ma'agel is the circle maker. It refers to a miracle worker, Jewish miracle worker, known for his prayers for rain that were always answered. So whenever there is no rain, and this was a catastrophe in the past, no rain, no food. So this person would come and put a circle around him and say, God, I will not leave this place until there will be rain, until there is rain. And the rain came every single time. But the story is not about that. Once, this person saw a man planting a carob tree. Honi asked him, how long until it bears fruit? And the man answered, 70 years. Honi asked, what? Old man, you expect to live 70 years to eat its fruits? The man replied, well, just as my parents planted for me, so I plant for my children. So Honi sat down to eat, fell asleep, and miraculously slept for 70 years. When he woke up, he saw the man's grandson harvesting from the carob tree. He returned home and asked, Honi asked, is the son of Honi alive? And he said, no, his grandson is alive. I am Honi, he said, but no one believed him. He went to the study hall and heard scholars say, very flattering phrase for Honi, the Torah is as clear to us as in the days of Honi the circle maker. Great to see your legacy. And then Honi said, I am he, I am Honi. But they didn't believe him. I didn't honor him at all. And he spent the rest of his life as an unknown man who nobody paid any respect. And the second story about the time travel has a better ending. When Moses ascends to the Mount Sinai to receive the Torah, he finds God fixing little crowns on each letter in the scroll. Moses asks, "Master of the universe, why are you doing it?" And God replies, in the future, there will be a man, Akiva ben Yosef, we know him as Rabbi Akiva, who will derive piles and piles of laws from each crown, from each little kind of the calligraphy, beautiful crowns on each Torah. And Moses then asks, "Can I see this great Torah scholar?" And God tells him, "Turn around." And Moses is miraculously transported to the future, to hundreds of years. I think not hundreds, just to about 1,000 years from the time of Moses, into Rabbi Akiva's classroom. And Moses there sits quietly in the back of the classroom. Interestingly, Moses does not understand the discussion. Moses feels distressed. And then one of the students asks, "Rabbi Akiva, how do you know this law?" And Rabbi Akiva replies, "It's the law given to Moses at Sinai." Interesting, the law that Moses didn't recognize. But still, and then Moses heard this, he was comforted and returned back. So what do these Talmudic stories have in common? I think they have in common one thing: the wish of a person to have a meaningful life, hope that you will be remembered, and that your work will be acknowledged and have some value for future generations. Both Moses and Honi had this dream and had this vision. The science fiction films, imagine the machines that give us the power to travel in time. But I think Judaism and Jewish stories offer us something better: the power to look inside. In real life, of course, we can't undo yesterday or jump ahead to tomorrow, but we can return to our most authentic and true selves right now. And this is what Shabbat Shuvah is about: to pause, to reflect, to imagine what would people say about us in 70 years or in thousands of years, and take one step closer to the life we wanted them to tell the story about us. And the last story I will share is this. It's often quoted on high holidays and told by Martin Buber in his Tales of Hasidism. Before his death, Rabbi Zusia said, "In the coming world, in the future, they will not ask me," meaning probably after I die, when I see whatever the judgment that's coming, they will not ask me, "Why were you not Moses?" Because that would be easy to answer. I am not as good as Moses. They will ask me, "Why were you not Zusia? Why were you not yourself?" We all want a life that matters, a life lived with integrity and meaning. And during these days of tshuva, of repentance, of return, we are commanded to return and to the most authentic selves. This is our chance to begin again. We don't need a time machine. We only need a courage to make different choices now. And may these high holidays help us to create life filled with kindness, humanity, meaning, and deep sense of purpose. Shabbat Shalom.